All right, good evening, USA, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, aka Greg, aka YouTuber, creator, host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, and rookie podcaster of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you're rocking and hanging with the 48th episode, which is the last episode of 2022 of the Sports Edition show of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. All right. Now, I say this because, Christmas is around the corner, coming up on this weekend, and I do have a Christmas story to actually talk about in today's and final episode of this year, since 2022 is coming to a close. And so yeah, so in the meantime, if you missed any previous episodes whatsoever, don't worry, I'll cover the bases for you. We are now live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube. Alongside myself is the Instagram live feed of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the Instagram live feed on the podcast show page. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you can be able to find out when each episode is going to be dropping, and of course be sure to know when we'll be back. Because all right, so here's the deal, folks. Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast Sports Edition show will be back on January the 8th. All right, January the 8th, because of Christmas and New Year's. All right, so I hope y'all had a chance to do your Christmas shopping already. I know I did a little bit. I just brought a little bit of things for myself, actually. I didn't really do too much this time, but I may do that for my birthday, but who knows? We'll see. Anyway, if you are new to the YouTube universe and you missed any previous episodes whatsoever, don't worry. I will cover the bases with you. And the first thing you gonna do is grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Sports. No, excuse me, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. The sports YouTube channel page. Tap the noni bell so you'll be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. And of course, be sure to leave a like and a comment along with the episodes. And of course, be sure to stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes, and of course, be sure to share the episodes, share the videos, download these episodes, share the videos, share the episodes, listen, stream, and watch these episodes in case you miss any of them. All the episodes are going to be on every streaming platform, which I will cover at the end. And make sure you tell a friend to another friend, and I'll handle the rest. And also, you can make a charitable donation to my Cash App to support this show right here and the other podcast shows that I do, which is my Cash App, which is G Money Stacks 555. That's $ G Money. That's $ capital G, lowercase MONEY, capital S, lowercase TACKZ 555. And you can also be able to leave a 5-star rating. Actually, it's not about breaking the bank. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you decide and that you're comfortable with, that you desire, will be appreciated. And also, you can leave a 5-star rating on Podchaser, Podfriend, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. 5-star rating and a review will be appreciated. And all right, let's go to the quick side bleacher bar, man. Let's do this, man. All right. Now, the New York Giants, right? So they try to stay away from the word overconfidence. So I was like, wait a minute. Let me see this shit. Um, hang on one second, man. Let me give a shout out to the people that's on here. Um, the marketing boss Jay joined. Let's see what's up. And the digital dissection podcast joined. Thank you for joining. And don't know who you are, but thank you for joining anyway. Anyway, all right, so now so let's see. So to a man, Giants players are staying away from the word as possible. You have to stay humble, Saquon Barkley insisted. Um, we have to play our best every week, Daniel Jones asserted. Every week you try to go 1-0, Dexter Lawrence vowed. To a man, to a woman, Giants coaches are staying even further away from the word as possible. Staying focused on the job at hand had man Brian DeBall said. We need to do what we do very well. Defensive coordinator Wink Martindale said. To a man, to a woman, Giants fans are trying very hard to keep the word out of their minds, let alone their mouths, as hard as it might be. Because for this week and this game, it is the worst of all possible words in the lexicon, save for perhaps death and despair and pestilence and a few notable others. Overconfidence. Yeah, that's the one. That's the killer. That's the word that swims in the waters of hopelessness like a shark that hasn't eaten in 3 days, looking to consume whole anyone who succumbed to its temptations. Ooh. The Dallas Cowboys may be the stated opponent Monday night at MetLife Stadium, but overconfidence is the foe. Overconfidence is the enemy. Overconfidence is the silent assassin, and you know it as a Giants fan because inevitably, invar- invariably, you've been involved in a conversation this week that featured something that looks like this. Look, we're 2-0, and that's great, but we haven't won anything yet. We haven't done anything yet. Sure, the Cowboys are the Cowboys, and they are scuffling. They don't have Dak, and they don't have much of an offense line to speak of. And their coach always looks positively baffled on the sidelines, like he's trying to figure out trigonometry while also mismanaging the clock. And sure, we could beat them. We could beat them. Maybe should beat then. Maybe should beat them, and that would make us 3-0. And inevitably, inevitably, invariably, that is followed by someone either texting "shut up, Jinx" or simply hanging up the phone, and maybe in extreme cases calling a priest to see if there's a way to exercise exercise a telephone call or a text message. Save the call. There isn't. See, there are many good things to the Giants being 2-0. There have been two victories, one in enemy territory, one in front of a renewed and re-energized home crowd, and there have been just enough good winning plays executed by the lads in blue that for the first time in too long a time, Giants fans are feeling happy and hopeful instead of turning their attention to the draft. That is the good stuff, and you wouldn't trade it for the world. But it's so well easy to allow overconfidence to seep into the equation. The Cowboys are damn lucky not to be 0-2. Their opening game loss to Tampa Bay was a complete fiasco. The Giants are actually favored to win according to most betting lines. The Cowboys have Micah Parsons, which is a nice thing to have, but there's only so much one player can do, especially when your QB1 is on the shelf for another month. Cooper Rush is the Dallas QB, which stands for quarterback, and he's two and zero lifetime as a starter, but he's Cooper Rush. I see a guy that's a starting quarterback in this league. Honestly, I do. Is what Martindale said Thursday, and that's about as beautifully as a coach could possibly put it. If he's trying to lock down the shutters of for overconfidence, and I made the comment just watching him and the decisions that he makes. I think he'll make a long career as a quarterback in this league, and then he'll be one of those cats that become an offensive coordinator and a head coach by the time he's 38 or 39. That's how it usually works. Oh yeah, the DC is an old pro at this. Of course, as good as 2-0 feels, 3-0 would be something else. And the truth is, 3-0 is within reach. If the Giants play as well as they did in the second half against Tennessee, as well as they did in the very beginning and the very end of the Carolina game, if, and well, that's also it. The if part, you can't just dissect the good parts of games and splice them into the next game. You have to actually play well, have to actually win the game. And the Giants, truth be told, really should win this game. But what does an old jinx like me now call priest? That's not gonna help, man. Listen, that ain't gonna help, man. I'm not. Look. Overconfidence is just a little. I think it's ridiculous, man, to actually say something like that, though, man. I mean, yes, overconfidence is a negative enemy, negative energy, and all that other stuff. I mean, but but if you really think about it, you have Dallas Cowboys fans that's like overconfident in their team. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they lose, even though they are they got more wins than any other team. But that don't mean be overconfident in everything that you do, because they're not gonna win every game. Like, come on, if they won every game, that'd be like a little unrealistic. If you really think about it, though, man. Oh man. And let's get to Dribble Too Much. Oh boy. That's his name. I can't believe this shit. Oh man. And this is from TMZ Sports. Don't sleep on Drake's ability on the basketball court. Um, excuse me. Because the hip hop superstar can flat out hoop, so says Dribble Too Much, Drizzy's longtime trainer. TMZ Sports recently talked to Dribble Too Much, aka Johnny Steven, and we asked him who is the best hooping rapper. Big shout out to my boy Drake right now, because listen, me and Drake have been working for several years. We're good friends, first of all, and he really loves basketball. He loves the game. The fact that he loves the game and is so passionate about getting better at something that he loves put us on the same level as far as mentality wise. Interesting. Um, and FYI, in addition to Drake, Dribble Too Much has worked with celebs like Two Chains and many more, and NBA superstars like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan, and Chris Paul. So when the man says Drake can play, listen, Drake wasn't always regarded as a good player. In fact, he was routinely clowned on social media back in the day for his perceived lack of ability on the court. But Johnny says there's been a huge improvement. Listen, he's not that Drake from 5 years ago, man, my man. He's got way better, man. I'm excited just because it's healthy for him to be playing and just being happy doing what he loves. That's dope. His biggest strength, shooting the ball. Of course, you can check out the full interview, Dribble Too Much. We talked about his burgeoning music career. He's been on tracks with Travis Scott and Trippie Redd. Johnny recently released a new single, Coach Rappin', and will soon drop an album that features a collab with Damian Lillard. All right. Wow. All right. That sounds pretty fire right there, man. That sounds pretty fire. And speaking of fire, the Nets got a new jersey. Let's they unveiled a new city edition uniform, white Basquiat inspired. So this is interesting right here. So I had to knock off that other topic because I couldn't find it. Anyway, the Brooklyn Nets debuted an instant fan favorite uniform with a twist Thursday morning, a color twist fans and the players have vocally endorsed in the past. The Nets will once again pay tribute to the legendary Brooklyn-born artist Jean Michael Basquiat with their new 2022-23 white Basquiat City Edition uniform. The designs remain the same, but with a different element of color. The lettering across the front of the uniform reads Brooklyn Nets with a color packed sliding siding from the jersey down to the shorts. The shorts include Basquiat's trademarked crown motif and the lettering Brooklyn, New York. And yeah. The Nets will also play on Basquiat themed court. Kevin Durant, who is a big fan of Basquiat's work, explained last season that all the players wanted to see the white version of the 2021-2022 City Edition uniform. He was a very impactful artist and had a lot of fans throughout this day. It's an honor for us to represent him, his family, and where he comes from through our jerseys and on our court, said Durant back on April 25th, 2021. A lot of guys said they want to try the white jersey next year, the Basquiat jersey, which is pretty interesting. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting right here, man. Um and let's go through the comments right here. So, this person says, I love when they match the center court art to the unis. This one and the court art for the ABA unis were great. And this is from someone who loves the simple B and W B basketball logos. The naming of these things is ridiculous, but some franchises like the Nets have done a great job with these alts, and that makes it worth it for me. Another person says this jersey would look real good on a black court. Um, Another person says splashing colors always look great on white. And another person says these are dumb. Another coolest idea beat to death. And another person says hard. And this person says these ones don't do anything for me. And another person says this I really want. Um, this person says kind of like these, but as with the Coogee threads, the black versions are just way better. Court is nice. Just wish the team would admit the gray coloring was a good idea that didn't work. More generally, Nike's absolutely botched this uniform system. The Nets have been mostly fortunate, but the whole thing feels very corporate. Um, I don't mind veering away from the home whites versus away field tradition, but no one knows the difference between icon, association, city, earn, wherever else, wherever else there is. Even when executed well, the unis only last 1 year, even when the fans love them and there's no consistent brand identity or even color scheme for a lot of jersey designs. You can't tell which team that they belong to. Another person says if it were up to me, the main jerseys would just permanently be the black Coogis and this year's ABA stars and stripes. Then the alts would be some combination of the tie-dye throwbacks, the Basquiats, black, no, excuse me, white or black, depending on home versus away, and a new one that they can redesign every year. Then court design would just be this Basquiat court with the OG herringbone wood to match the Coogis or this year's Stars and Stripes court to match the NBA jerseys, depending on which day are wearing that game. Another person says it's because of European soccer. I don't mind it. Every team has the one kit color that they've been wearing for 100 years. Then each season they get one traditional-ish design that they wear when the match needs contrast. Then finally they get a third one where they go nuts with whatever they want. Barcelona and Real have the main shirts every year that everyone recognizes, but their third kits are usually fluorescent and modern. For the Nets, that's the black with white piping. It's great, and that can be the main brand forever. But besides that, get a little silly with it each year. I agree the naming is weird, but ultimately it doesn't matter. They just wanted to avoid calling it something home when technically a team can pick up any of their jerseys for home. Yeah. Um okay. So in other basketball news, um Bronny signs NIL deal with Beats by Dre. Interesting. Um, Brony James is following in his father's footsteps, signing a NIL deal with Beats by Dre 14 years after LeBron James became the company's first athlete ambassador. Bronny, age 18, is making history with the deal, becoming the first high school athlete ever to be signed by the company, which was founded in 2006 by Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine. Beats by Dre even dropped the commercial featuring the newest member of his family, showing 37-year-old James listening to classical music and going one-on-one with Bronny on the court. In the video, LeBron James and Bronny exchanged buckets back and forth, including a series of dunks and jump shots, all while donning Beats by Dre headphones during the game. The Chosen One versus the Chosen Son. Beats by Dre fittingly wrote as a caption for the commercial. At the end of the video, the legacy continues appears on the screen. Last week, the Sierra Canyon High School guard inked a NIL deal with Nike, who signed LeBron to a lifetime contract in 2015. And Nike basketball states, we're excited to announce the newest student athletes to join our Nike family: Caitlin Clark, Brony James, Haley Jones, DJ Wagner, and Juju Watkins. So there you have it. That's on Twitter. LeBron James and Nike have been partners since 2003, when LeBron burst onto the NBA scene as an 18-year-old rookie, dominating the league. So signing Bronny was a foregone conclusion. Brony has already joined Bron with the Nike family, and now the Beats fam. Next up, same NBA team. Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen, man. All right, so okay, up next, there's LeBron James actually has some new sneakers that's already out. According to this is from sneakernews.com, the Nike LeBron 20. So the Nike LeBron 20, aka LeBron double X, is the 20th signature shoe by Nike for LeBron James. Currently, a release is expected during the fall holiday 2022 season with a variety of colorways confirmed to release through the rest of the year and into 2023. Nike is likely to launch the LeBron 20 with special edition preheat style colorways with ample nods to LeBron's career achievements. And and as you can see on sneakernews.com, there's some pictures. This one is an Oregon basketball. So Oregon basketball reveals a boatload of Nike basketball PEs for the wow. So let's see. Basketball PEs. So this is just this that. And the Nike LeBron appears in a regal black and gold mix. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. Currently averaging 27 points per game, LeBron James is having personal impressive season. And while the fate of his Los Angeles Lakers squad is uncertain, what's known is that the Ohio native has more special takes on his Nike LeBron 20 shoe in the tuck. Recently, the Zoom Air assisted silhouette emerged in a compelling color combination of black, gold, and silver tones, reminiscent of a previously released Trinity style inspired by James Miami Heat team. The unreleased proposition foregoes any ruby colored flare in favor of an icy blue, translucent outside. No, outsole, excuse me. A a speckled white midsole delivers some personality to the latest Nike LeBron, but the titular colors arrive via the stacked swooshes at the lateral profile. Pitch dark knit layers complement the silver and gold profile accents, possibly telling a story to the kid from Akron. Could it be that the upcoming LeBron 20 colorway nods to the PS Elite series? James and the swoosh often unveiled in the NBA postseason throughout the mid 2010s. Only time will tell. No firm Nike.com launch date has been disclosed by the brand, but the pair is likely to drop in the first half of 2023. In the meantime, you can enjoy an early look at the pair ahead, courtesy of Instagram user Kicks Dong. You can follow Kicks Dong on Instagram, all right? So there you have it right there. And I think there's more to where that came from. I think there's more to where that came from though with the LeBron 20. I think there's more to where that came from with the LeBron 20. And he has another one too, as a matter of fact. Damn. So you got the PE. So you got the PE. So you got the LeBron 20 South Beach Orange release exclusive already at unknown, already out. So you have the LeBron 20 PEs. And then you have the bright tropical colors energized the Nike LeBron 20. Let's take a look at this. So this is a multicolored sneaker. So following its debut earlier this year, the Nike LeBron has surfaced in a drove of new colorways from the Time Machine to South Beach. More, of course, is on the way for 2023, including the newly reviewed tropical inspired colorway. Looking ahead a few seasons, this Nike LeBron 20 likely draws inspiration from both spring and summer. Vibrant colors, vibrant colors are prevalent throughout the entire shoe. With a bright orange setting, the tone across the mesh base over the top, the dual swooshes alternate between a deep purple and a baby blue, matching the sections of the midsole not hued in pink. Additional instances of the latter tone also mark the heel tab as well as the lace unit, the latter of which is completed by cool tone laces, a navy tongue, and neon green eye stays. For an earlier look at this upcoming Nike LeBron 20, you can check out the leaked imagery below. At the time of writing this, a release date has not yet been revealed. More info, however, should surface shortly, so sit tight. And of course, by the way, you can go to the you can in other news, US skate shops will be receiving orange lobster dunks. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And yes, and by the way, you can take a look at these sneakers and all that other stuff, not only at sneakersnews.com, but you could also follow um Kicksdong on Instagram as well. And that's where you can see all the pictures of the Nike LeBron 20s. Um Yeah, I might pose a question about these kicks though, man. How you feel about the colors and all the other stuff? I might pose that as a question after this episode. Um, and in other Nike news, yeah, I already talked about the expansion of the. I already talked about the expansion. Yes. I already talked about the expansion. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we talk about on the that's on the agenda? Oh, Oh, wait a minute. Willie Mays documentary. Yeah, let's talk about that one right there. Yes, Willie Mays. Yes, Willie Mays documentary. Um News. Okay. Yeah, so this happened oh boy. Willie Mays documentary. All right, I'm out to really. Okay, so all right, so this is from People. This is from the People website. A new documentary on HBO examines the life and legacy of Willie Mays, arguably the greatest baseball player of all time. Mays has long since been discussed in mytho- mythological terms. What's been lost in the iconography is a thoughtful appraisal of Mays, the human being. That was director Nelson George's goal when he set out to make Say Hey Willie Mays, which premieres Tuesday on HBO at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time and features an extensive interview with Mays, now 91. While Say Hey celebrates Mays' charismatic playing style, it also delves into his formative influences and presence, the complexities of his status as a black celebrity in the civil rights era. Oh boy. Another, oh boy. In an interview with People, George says he began work on his film. Its title reference May's famous catchphrase by writing in his notebook a simple question: who was Willie Mays? In answering that, Say Hey takes the viewer back to Mays' native Binghamton, Alabama, where his father played for industrial company teams and let his son sit on the bench with him as a child. Mays George notes is a classic jock who enjoys the the com the com the camaraderie of teammates and clubhouse banter. In one delicious scene in the film, George shakes Mays' hand for the first time and then winces at how strong his grip is, as even laugh. Both men laughed. Even at 91, Mays makes it clear who's the star athlete and who is not. Um, as someone as someone raised on ball fields, loyalty is at the top of Mays' hierarchy of virtues, which explains the San Francisco Giants jacket Mays wears in virtually every public appearance. It also explains Mays' controversial vocal defense on his godson, Barry Bonds. Despite widely held assumptions that Bonds used steroids while breaking baseball's all-time home run record, Bonds is an insightful interview in the film. Um, say George, the number one word for Willie Mays is was loyalty. If you are in with Willie, you are in. Say Hey discusses Mays' time in the minor leagues, where, like most black players during the early days of professional baseball's integration, Mays endured racial abuse. Reminds me of Jackie Robinson a little bit. As the film notes, the horrific treatment Jackie Robinson received after breaking the MLB's color barrier has been well documented, but nearly every black major leaguer was treated similarly at one point or another. Um, the film follows Mays to New York, where he starred with the Giants before they moved to San Francisco in 1958. He lived in Harlem and was beloved in the community, playing stickball on the street with kids by day, frequent frequenting the Red Rooster by evening. Oh man. But when the Giants got to San Francisco, Mays wasn't embraced at first and encountered discrimination when he tried to buy a house in a traditionally white neighborhood. Despite the city's progressive reputation today, racism was overt in 1958 and housing segregation was the norm. The seller initially accepted Mays' offer on the house, but after the neighborhood revolted, they backed out of the deal. The city's mayor, wanting to smooth over tensions, offered to put Mays up in his own house, and Mays' realtor pointed him to different neighborhoods, but Mays wouldn't budge. He had a point to make. He had a point to make. Mays has often been criticized for a purported lack of outspokenness on civil rights issues. He was a mainstream celebrity with crossover appeal to white America, and during that tumultuous period, George notes, Willie had a feeling that my presence in the world is to bring people together. As the Black Power movement gained hold in the late 1960s, many felt Mays should be a more outspoken activist. Jackie Robinson's criticism of him was particularly blistering. The film quotes Robinson as saying Willie personable and has a great talent, but he's never matured. But as the film shows, the idea that Mays never made any sacrifices for civil rights isn't accurate. In San Francisco, Mays stood his ground and eventually got the house. Soon after, someone threw a bottle into the home, shattering his window while Mays' son slept. Different people do in different ways. The film quotes Mays as saying decades ago in response to Robinson's criticism, his everyone must do his own job in his own way. And in my heart, my way is just as important as Jackie Robinson's way. So you can check it out on HBO Max. You can check it out on HBO and HBO Max as well. So if you didn't get a chance to check it out, go check it out. All right. So let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, Steve Cohen. Yes, Steve Cohen. Yes, 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 yes. Steve Cohen, man. There's two stories about Steve Cohen we need to get to. All right, so so Steve Cohen. All right, so this is from December 18th. Um, yes, so Mets owner Steve Cohen was in fact serious about his team's reported interest in Carlos Correa, which leaked just hours before the star shortstop inked a 13-year, $350 million deal with the San Francisco Giants. The high spending owner admitted so to John Heyman of the New York Post with the hopes of bringing the 28-year-old to Queens, where he would shift to third base and play alongside his friend and Mets shortstop Francisco Lindor. It would also have raised the Mets 2023 payroll even higher towards something near $350 million after an unprecedented shopping spree earlier this month, which saw $300 million doled out to Justin Verlander, Kodai Senga, Jose Quintana, David Robertson, and Brandon Nimmo. Um, New York's 2023 payroll is estimated at around $345 million, which is the highest for a team in MLB history. I made a commitment to the fans, Cohen said. If it means I have to spend money to fulfill that commitment, so be it. As it stands, there's no other way to keep the Mets in contention after a 101 win season, which was the second most in franchise history. A team that had an abundance of holes on the roster opened up in free agency, most notably when Jacob deGrom opted out of his contract and ultimately signed with the Texas Rangers, which we talked about previously, lacked the organizational depth to supply internal options. To supplement the loss of DeGrom, Cohen is paying Verlander $86 million over 2 years. At the time when Walker signed with the Phillies, Jose Quintana was signed. So was highly touted Japanese pitcher Kodai Senga, confirming that Chris Bassitt's time in Queens would come to an end. He eventually signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. The lack of center field options on the open market made re-signing Nimmo a necessity, and it certainly showed with an 8-year, $162 million contract, which we previously talked about. Um, However, the question ultimately remains whether or not the Mets have made sizable improvements to take that next step toward World Series contention. Cohen doesn't seem sold, which is why the interest in Correa was there and why they probably aren't done making moves this winter. My team is good, but it isn't that much better than last year, Cohen told Heyman. If you want a team that's good, this is what it costs. What are you going to do? This is at least the way things will be for the Mets for the time being. The farm system is still rather bare considering top prospects Francisco Alvarez, Brett Beatty, and Mark Vientos are already potentially in the 2023 equation for the Mets. There's a real fight in overcoming something that he inherited, and that's the organizational talent depth has been a problem. Super agent Scott Boras said of Cohen on Thursday. He knows he has to do more at the major league and free agent level to address that. He's very clear about it and always trying to make sure that this year's team is as competitive as it should be, understanding that he has to pull in the free agent area more than he'd like to or more than he'd want to. While that is something that probably any owner wouldn't want to do, he does it because it means if I don't do it, I won't be competitive. In other Steve Cohen news, Another Steve Cohen news. Mets owner Steve Cohen wants input from locals in Queens about the future of the property around Citi Field as he eyes submitting a bid to open a casino near the stadium. Cohen announced Monday he'll be hosting a January 7th public visioning session at Citi Field in Flushing to discuss ideas to reimagine space around the ballpark. For months, we have been listening to the local community who keeps telling us there is more they want from the area. Everyone agrees that the status quo isn't acceptable, Cohen said in a statement released on Monday. We are committed to putting forward a vision for the area that will create a shared space that people not only want to come to and enjoy, but can be proud of. This guy Steve Cohen is actually doing a lot, man. You know what I mean? As an owner, and he's doing whatever it takes to put up a winning team too, man. And yeah, and yeah, I'm actually, and as we previously talked about Brendan Nimmo's situation, he got resigned, and in episode we talked about it in episode 45 actually, and I'm actually glad he got re-signed anyway because there's nobody better than Brendan Nimmo, to be honest with you, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's just, it's just, it's just a fucking fact, man. You know what I mean? So there it is. So the billionaire financier said he takes his civic responsibility seriously and is committed to creating a space where visitors and fans can have access to the waterfront, enjoy open space, listen to live music, and have plenty of entertainment options to eat and drink. But the press release conspicuously makes no mention of a much speculated casino bid. It says the area around Citi Field for too long has been 50 acres of vacant asphalt and wasted opportunity that divides neighborhoods and cuts off access to the waterfront. Things are looking up. Mayor Eric Adams also recently announced a planned 25,000 seat soccer stadium for the NYCFC's team and a new housing department for Woods Point. New York State next year will consider issuing 3 new casino licenses for the downstate region. 2 could go to the existing casino slot parlors, getting Resorts World at Aqueduct and MGM Empire City at Yonkers to expand and offer card table games. Cohen is one of the players considering a license along with the Steve Ross related companies Wynn Resorts expected bid for Hudson Yards, landlord SL Green, Caesars Entertainment proposed casino for Times Square, and a consortium's bid for a casino in Coney Island, whose partners would include Legends, the entertainment firm partly owned by the Yankees, and Thor Equities, Saratoga Casino Holdings, and Chickasaw Nation. All right, and last but not least, um, Christmas carols. So because Christmas is around the corner, I got a story involving Christmas carols that tells a story a lot to New York sports. So here's what it is. So this is according to the New York Post again, actually. So you've waited all year for him. Well, at least my wife has. So here's to Christmas 2022. Deck the halls and clear your throats. Um, oh, the season was straight delightful till October made it blightful. And since I'm worth more than Spain, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. Well, the ground went off cowboy rustling, so I made a call to Justin. Hop onto onto my cheddar train. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. Oh shit. That's fucking funny. When the Wilpons were still in charge, coins were pinched like the Grinch and Parallax. And now Uncle Stevie is living large. I've got my own luxury tax. Here's Nemo Sanger Quintana. And no, and who knows who I'll woo mañana. Otani, I'll buy him Maine. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. Hoping for the best in Yankee land. Walking in a winter wonderland. Yankees fold. Hal is cringing. Back in Queens, Cohen is binging. A 13-year plight. It's just isn't right. Hoping for the best in Yankee land. um, IKF. Must you flounder through your legs, skids a grounder. Hicks duffs a fly ball, then jogs to the wall. Bracing for the worst in Yankee land. At the winter meeting sits the cashman. He pretends that he plays Moneyball. Hell say, need a prospect? No, they'll say no, man. But here's a bloated contract paid all. Later on, fans perspire, Booney's moves all backfire. Since still face unafraid, the Astros remade, hoping for the best in Yankee land. In the outfield, we have Judge and Stanton. We'll pretend that they'll play all the games. Trainers Warpool will be up and cracking. With random torn obliques and DJ's sprains, with Rondon will aspire to the flag, maybe higher, to face without phase. The Rays and the Jays hoping for the best in Yankee land. Number 28 in Yankee land. It's a most unusual time of the year. Oh wow. It's a most unusual time of the year. Whether jet or giant, they are stubborn, defiant, and play with no fear. It's a most unusual time of the year. It's the football ballsiest season of all. Dexter Sauce, um, Thibodeau, Sila Wilson Morel, and O'Brien the Ball. It's the foot ballsiest season of all. There'll be lines for slaying, commanders for flaying, or else playoff odds become bleak. There'll be much Danny Diming and Zach Wilson subliming. To stay in the hunt one more week, it's the most unusual season in years. One team's keeping receipts, and the other drum beats. They'll draw Tom's Buccaneers. It's the most unusual season in years. World Cup. What's a yellow card? Christmas, baby, come home. Baby, please come home. Somebody, casual American soccer fans. World Cup, was it what was that called offside? World Cup, I still don't see how. World Cup, what is the injury time? World Cup should be done by now. World Cup, a striker goes down. World Cup, he's right thing on the side. World Cup, the fans all going mad. World Cup sub this flopping fraud. Lining up to build a wall. Huh. Messi really struck that ball. Can't someone beat France this year? Give us Yanks some Yuletide cheer. World Cup, the folks in the stands. World Cup are weeping so hard. World Cup, here's a referee. World Cup, what's a yellow card? Did you just ask that question? Did you just ask that question? That's funny, man. Oh shit. Oh man, they are yelling. That's a handball. But I think they just want to stall. Oh no, another PK. Nil games every day. World Cup. Here's what I liked about 20 22. There's a few things of any favorite things. Aaron Judge smashing the record of Roger, Gil in the Hall, all-time Met, all-time Dodger, Johnny's and Bonnie's and Rams and Gals too. Here's what I liked about 2022. Saquon and Zan finding holes, run like thunder. Donovan Mitchell, okay, there's a blunder. Devs, Owls, Rangers with cups in their rear view. Here's what I've liked about 2022. When the Knicks lose, when the Nets snooze, when they play no D, I dream of do-overs from baseball's Octobers. um, when I don't feel grouchy, Katie Rain's threes and Jay Brunson's a keeper. St. Peter's run as an ultimate sleeper. October Bader hit 333. Time to get ready for 2023. Oh man. Wow. Ah man, Louis Orr was a gentleman and a joy to cover when he was at Seton Hall. Plus, as a young St. John's fan way back in the day, the Louis and Bowie show struck fear in me whenever Syracuse faced the Johnnies. Godspeed to a good man. Tuesday will be the 40th birthday of one of David Allen Wright. And like most athletes who played their whole career here, Derek Jeter, Eli Manning, Henrik Lundqvist, others, it's a number hard to fathom because in the mind's eyes, they are forever 25. The big news Friday in Jets land was Mike White and Zach Wilson, but Robert Saleh also wore a shirt commemorating a Sunday fundraiser in honor of Greg Knapp, the Jets passing game coordinator killed in 2021 by a distracted driver. Jets coaches and staff will run the steps at the MetLife to benefit the Coach Knapp Memorial Fund. Fans can also participate at $100 per climber at a site of their choice. For more details, visit napmemorial.org/stair-climb. Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on. Salah's shirt had 986,000 on it. The number of deaths each year caused by distracted drivers. The latest season of The Crown is fine, but I keep expecting Bunk to show up at Buckingham Palace, bring bring Prince Charles down for a chat with some of corner crews. Damn son. Marty Galvin, how unprepared did Joe Flacco look last week in Buffalo? He looked as ready as Ralph Mouth did when he was called in and took his warm-ups off and wasn't even dressed in his uniform. One of the fastest avenues to being included in this feature is to drop a splendidly random Happy Days reference. Joey Sowinski, the Mets got a lot more expensive and a lot older, but they did get even a little bit better. No, I won't hold my breath waiting for this little missive to show up in your whack back at vac section. Breathe, Joey, breathe. Yeah, Yoplin, any chance you can get Jalen Brunson to handle the ball to end a game instead of Julius Randle, pretty please. If I had such powers, don't you think I've have tapped into them by now? Bruce Welch, when I was a kid, my parents would tell me play shortstop, play shortstop. Should have listened to them. Ain't that the truth? So yeah, that's pretty much the way to end episode 48. Um yeah, episode 48 actually. So this is going to be one of those things. Let me see. Let me see how much time we got here. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna actually wrap up here. So we're gonna wrap up here. I want to make sure I get the title episode right. So let me just get that. Let me just get that out of there. Okay. Okay, hold on a minute. All right. That's gonna do it for episode 48. Um and and of course we're gonna go to the last segment of the night, which is stream choices on the go, man. Let's do this. Let's go. And you folks in the sports world out there that's listening all over the world, international, of course, included, Canada, USA, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the 5 boroughs of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. If you like this episode and the topics that's being discussed or whatever, the sports topics, all you need to do is go ahead and show some love by following Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast on Instagram. And my review show, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, and my other show, which is Off the Meat Rat Chains New York podcast, along with Facebook and Instagram, as well as myself. You can follow your homie right here, at G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. So turn on your notifications so you can be in the know on when each episode is going to be dropping. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, be sure to stay tuned on when the episode is going to be dropping. This episode is going to be dropping tomorrow, which is Thursday. So, you know what I'm saying? And of course, we're gonna get into the link in bio. The link in bio of Instagram. If you go to the link in bio where it says Linktree/Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, you're gonna see a whole list of audio streaming platforms that's included in all of this. And speaking of audio streaming platforms, you can leave a voice message on anchor.fm/GMoneyStacks0/message on anchor.fm. All right. And speaking of Anchor, that's where we're going to start with. Yeah. So we are on Anchor, Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, excuse me. Yes, Podfriend, Podorama, Podopolo, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, and don't forget to listen to Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast sports edition show on Radio Public, and alongside with the other episodes, yeah, along with the other episodes with iHeartRadio, the #1 app for music, radio, and podcasts. Of course, make sure you follow that. Make sure you follow my other 2 shows over there, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast Review Show. Make sure you follow Off the Meat Rat Chains New York New York podcast. And of course, you can catch up on the episodes and stuff like that. And also, make sure you grab the subscribe button for me on Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast sports channel page on YouTube. And you can do the same by subscribing to Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast and G Money Stacks 555, as well as the New York podcast episodes that's already uploaded and posted to the YouTube channel page, as well as the Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast review show page. So you can click on the noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, along with the time and the reminder of when it's going to start. Leave a like and a comment along with the sports topic episodes. And of course, stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. And of course, like I said, grab that subscribe button. And also be sure to listen, stream, watch the episodes, download the episodes. Be sure to share the episodes, share the videos, and of course, tell a friend to another friend. Spread the word. Word of mouth is important. And of course, plus, be sure to share the podcast along with the link that says Linktree / Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast. Along with the link that's along with the audio streaming platforms, along with the link with your husbands, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your friends, the people you're cool with, and alongside with everybody else. So once again, be sure to share the podcast with the link that says Linktree along with audio streaming platforms with your husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, the people you're cool with, the people you met at parties, festivities, wherever you meet people for the first time or whatever, you tell them about it. All right. That's going to do it for me. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Greginator, aka Greg. And thank you very much for listening to this last episode of 2022 of episode 48, titled Nike LeBron James sneakers and Christmas moments for sports teams. And remember, the grind doesn't stop. If you want something, you have to work hard and you have to earn it. Trust the process. Don't rush it. New York wasn't built in a day. And of course, be confident in what you do. Follow your goals and dreams that makes you smile, creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually, alongside with being on your P's and Q's. That gets you into your zone, along with creative juices that's flowing, alongside with some tunnel vision. All right. I want to make sure that I wish every single person out there that's listening right out there in international, USA, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the 5 boroughs of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, New Year, and hopefully y'all did your Christmas shopping already. And I know shopping sometimes for Christmas can be stressful compared to Black Friday, but at the same token, at least you're doing your early shopping already. At least you're thinking about getting your family members some gifts and stuff. So, I hope y'all enjoy your Christmas weekend, which is Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I know I'm going to be working on Christmas Eve in the 20-something degree weather. Hopefully, I'll be able to get everything situated with some warm stuff to wear. I got everything that I'm going to wear. So, with the ski mask, I got gloves, I got the thick scarf, all that great stuff right there, man. So, anyway, man. Anyway, that's it for 2022. Last episode of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the sports edition show of 2022. I'm up out of here. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you, Spotify, for making this presentation of everything that they put together for Spotify Rap for podcasters. I appreciate you. I love y'all. Be careful out there. Be with your family, be with your friends, and all that great stuff. Peace and one love. Peace and one love. Be careful out there. Take care of one another. Reach out to one another to see what's going on with them on the inside. And of course, have yourselves a good night and a Merry Christmas. And I'll see y'all in 2023. Merry Christmas, New Year's, and enjoy the rest of your night.